Hey there, it's Ms. Barnett coming at you from Quarantine 2020. We're going to get started with the properties of chords. This is 10.3, and what we'll be doing today is using the properties of, you guessed it, chords to create and solve equations. Remember, we learned chords are a line segment that goes from two endpoints whose endpoints are on the circle. It could be a diameter is a very specific kind of chord, but we're just going to use these theorems to create and solve problems. So, in the same circle or in congruent circles, two minor arcs are congruent if and only if their corresponding chords are congruent. So, FG, so we're saying arc FG is congruent to arc JH if and only if FG, line FG is congruent to line GH. So if these two segments are congruent, then the arcs are also going to be congruent. I feel like it's that easy. All right, so in this first problem, I've got MN, arc MN, and arc PQ are congruent. You know how I can tell? Because of the tick marks. They're congruent. So MN is 38 and PQ is 4x plus 10. Because those arcs are congruent, I can say that MN is going to be congruent to PQ, which means that their measures are going to be the same. So I can substitute that in. 38 is going to be equal to 4x plus 10. And now I'm just solving. I have an add 10. I'm going to subtract 10. 38 minus 10 is 28 divided or is equal to 4x. I divide by 4. X is equal to 7. And look at, all we have to do is find x. So, boom, done. That's good. All right. The next one. Ooh, this one's trickier. So, I'm going to use a different color because I can. Pink. No. Orange. Right, okay. So I've got JK and LK are congruent. So I know that their arcs that they're crossing are also congruent. LK is going to be congruent to JK. JK. So if LK is X, then JK is also X, and this is a circle, so all of those arcs should add up to what? If you said 360, boy, are you right. So I've got, the equation I'm going to write is X plus 70 has to equal 360. And now I'm just simplifying and solving. X plus X is 2X, gotcha. 2X plus 70 is equal to 360. What do I do next? Did you say subtract? I hope you did, because that's what you do. Subtract 70. So we got 2x is equal to 290. And then you divide by 2. And x is going to be 145. All right, after I've done those two example problems, I encourage you, pause it. Try this one on your own. See how it goes. Who do you, like, you're just sitting there. Like, you could do it. You could try it. Okay, so 109 is equal to 109. So these two arcs are the same, which means AB is going to be congruent to BC. So their measures are going to be equal. So 3x plus 2 has to be equal to 5x minus 7. And now we're just solving. Add 7 to both sides. And I get 9. And I'm subtracting 3x. Oh, that's not pretty. It's 2x. Divide by 2, and I get x is equal to 4.5 or 9/2. Either way, I don't care. All right. This one's a little trickier. It says, if the diameter or radius of a circle is perpendicular to a chord, then it bisects the chord and its arcs. So this radius, CB is the radius, and it's bisecting this chord. I'm going to make it X, oh, I already have orange, XY. It bisects it, so it's creating two congruent segments here. So XZ is going to be congruent to YZ, but also arcs. There's two congruent arcs now too. We've got XB is going to be congruent to BY. So those are all of the things that we're using right now. So if we know that this whole angle, and it's perpendicular. The perpendicular part is important. Let's make it blue. The it has to be perpendicular for this to be true. So we've got the measure of PQR, so this arc right here, PQ to R is 98 degrees. The whole thing is 98 degrees. We have this perpendicular segment right here. We want to find the measure of PQ. So if it's bisecting it, it's cutting it into bisect. Cut that pie into 2 equal segments. We're taking 98 and we're cutting it into 2 equal segments. So 98 divided by 2 is going to be 49. So the measure of arc PQ, that's this segment, is going to be 49. Both of those segments are 49. This one will be 49 degrees and this one will be 49 degrees. All right, same circle. It says in circle S, find PR. So PR is a line segment. It's saying this whole chord. It wants to know this whole distance of PR. Again, we have this radius making a perpendicular. It's perpendicular, so it's bisecting. So these two segments are going to be congruent. So if this one is 6, then this one is 6. So PT plus TR is going to be equal to PR. They're both 6. 6 plus 6 is equal to PR. What is 6 plus 6? I hope you said 12. It's 12. 12 is equal to PR. All right, try this one. Oh, this one's tricky. You know what? We're skipping this one. Skip. Big ol' skip this one for now. All right. Let's go on to these ones, though. A whole nother theorem. In the same circle or incongruent circle, two chords are congruent if and only if they are equidistant from the center. So they're saying that these two chords, W, R, so let's use their segment. So if it says FG is congruent to GH if and only if these two segments, LX and LY, are congruent. So I know that these two, FG and GH, are congruent if and only if LX is congruent to LY. That's what we're talking about. So it tells us that WX and XY are both equal to 22. So these 22 and this one is also 22. Find AB. We want to find the distance from A to B. That's what it's asking us for. What we do know is that these two segments have to be congruent. If these are both 22, then these ones have to be congruent. So AB has to be equal to AC. So now I'm just going to substitute in what I know for those two things. 5x is going to be equal to 3x plus 4. And now, straight up solving. Subtract 3x from both sides. 5x minus 3x is 2x is equal to 4. We divide by 2. X is equal to 2. Find AB. AB is equal to 5x, so 5 times 2. So AB is equal to 10. Boom. Chocolate. All right. And another one. We know that TH and HU are congruent. So what are we going to know about QP and RS? If you said that they're congruent, props. PQ has to be equal to RS if these two things are the same. So now I'm just going to substitute in what I know. 3x minus 4 has to be equal to 14. Add 4 to both sides. I get 3x is equal to 18. And then I divide by 3. X is equal to 6. Is that what it is asking for? It said find x. Great, we found x. We're done. Smiley face. Maybe some hair. I don't know. A tongue. Woo! Have a great day. I hope you're all healthy. Let me know if you need help.